So hello and welcome to the channel. If you're new to the Angry Canary build, if you check in the description all the links to the previous installments of this rebuild, restoration, silly idea attempt. So while you're doing that, so today what we're looking at trying to do is to try and get the gearbox and the engine put back together. They've never been together, these two, so hopefully they'll marry up. So we're going to get the clutch done, also need to do the slave cylinder, the water pump, cam belt, drive belt, and some other little bits in between as well. So hopefully I should be close to putting them together. The engine bay is almost done. I've got that little repair, as I said in the last video, to do on the low pressure end of the power steering line, but I can access that when the engine's in. The weather's getting really bad recently, as we all know, with the rain, and it's coming to autumn and winter, so I really want to try and get the engine in, get the turbo changed as well for the new one that I bought, which is KO4 internals, I'm told, but KO3, so that's meant to be better for power, but obviously I'm not doing this for power, but it's meant to be more reliable. I had some advice from Bryn as well, who basically said if you're going to move the car, make sure you disconnect the N75, because these are things you don't think about, but always appreciative of Bryn's advice and information. So yes, so let's crack on with the turbo and we'll go from there. If you ever have to have work done on a turbo for an Audi TT and you get given a price, do not even complain about it. I'm doing this and the engine's not even in the car, and it's an absolute drama. So thankfully these ones aren't the same as the BAM engine. It's just 17mm bolt, but that bolt there, you can't actually get a socket on it, so I moved the protector off there. But anyway, so that turbo's nearly out now. You can see the gap there. You've got the coolant feed line, I think that goes into the turbo. I've disconnected it anyway. You've got the bracket there, which is loose. That feed line, I think that's the oil feed line, that's going into the bottom of the sump. I might just see if I can get a replacement, better looking version of that, but that's not the point at the moment. And then what else have we got? So that's it. So I've just got to finish off and doing that bolt. But my point here is, if an authorized, approved Audi TT Mark 1 mechanic gives you a price to do a turbo, it's going to be fair, because this is a horrible job. The clutch is fun to line up. The cam belt I haven't got around to doing yet, but I'm doing this with the engine out of the car. So if you can appreciate trying to do these jobs with a piece of wood and a jack, propping up the engine with the tiniest amount of room. Mine's open. Look at this. It's open. Look at all that space I've got all the way around the engine to work on it. And even I'm struggling. So yeah, support your local mechanics. So if they give you a price, then yeah, I wouldn't complain about it too much. And to all you mechanics, well done. Anyway, back to getting this turbo off. And there is one more, that little tiny one there, and it's holding the line against the turbo. I couldn't get a socket or anything on there, so I managed to get that on with my little adjustable. You see that's coming away, but that's the last thing holding the turbo in. So in order to access the top feed line here, which I've discovered actually exists, you can't get anything in there. So I've taken off the bracket that was on the bottom of the turbo. So the only thing that's holding it in now is that one line. So I should be able to get the Allen key, I think it's this big chunky one, onto that now and be able to get it off. So I can push the turbo down a little bit. I've had to get some leverage, but that's on there now, and that's now loose. So carry on doing it. Yeah, so I got that. It looks like it's the oil feed line. Only say that because it's got oil on it, I don't know. Probably, but that is one removed turbo. And these lines, I'll need to take, like this one, you take that off and put it onto the new turbo. and that thing, heat prevention, whatever. And that's the internals of that one. Let's see how good this turbo was. There's no play in that at all. It's brilliant, that. It's a good one, actually. Yeah, still got the Audi badge on it, but there we go. So apparently it's something to do with the insides of them. So that's the new KO3 going in. There's not much in it really, is there? I would have thought. But anyway, so that's the original KO3, and that's the one that's identifying as a KO4. But again, I'm not sure. Is that an actuator? I think someone told me. And then that's obviously the old one, so the new one's cleaner. I do have a brand new gasket kit for it, so I'll go and grab that. And then I'll start on doing these other bits and pieces and transfer them onto the new one, and then we'll get it put in. So that's the one that's come out, and it looks pretty much the same, but this section's a little bit different, and this one looks chunkier, but that doesn't have that teacup on the top. So eBay purchase, turbo gasket kit. Surprisingly difficult to find one for a 180 turbo. Everything's all for the 225, but I managed to find one anyway. So we've got some more fresh hardware, some copper rings in there as well, which is good. So that's the ancillary bits that were on the turbo still left on, so they're all on now. Got some new copper, very good. And that, I can't remember which way round that goes, so I'll leave it loose for now, but it's on and it fits, so we're good. So I'll get it back on the engine. So that's loosely on, that's only held on by one bolt, so I just wanted to make sure I was putting it on the right way round. So now I'm going to put this oil feed line back on. Got a nice new little gasket there, handy, so I'll get that put in.
So this project is brought to you by sponsored and supported by the TT shop in Blackburn. They supply all second-hand parts for Mark 1 and also now Mark 2 vehicles as well. So if you're looking for wings, they've got plenty of those in stock in all a variety of colours, all very varying conditions. So ones that you can prepare yourself, some that are ready for paint. If you're looking for engines, gearboxes, new glass for your broken doors, right the way through to door cars, rad packs, an abundance of transfer boxes, more gearboxes, a blowing exhaust or a downpipe. Or if simply you just want to buy a car that runs, that you want to do as a project, they also have vehicles available to do that as well. So get in touch with them. I'll put a link in the description for the TT shop in Blackburn, and also you will receive a 10% discount if you use the code IMOLA10, which is here somewhere. So get in touch. That discount only applies to actual parts, not postage and packaging. So obviously if you're going to take an engine, then that'll be a separate charge. But get in touch with the guys down at the TT shop Blackburn, and they will be more than happy to assist you with your requirements, whether that be used parts or just a car to work with. Thank you very much to the TT shop Blackburn for supporting and sponsoring this project. Now back to the car.
So that is the old water pump removed, and you can see there just on the outside that's coolant, and so it looks like it was having a little leak. So it was due a change anyway, but obviously because I've got the engine out, so there's a nice hole from it. So that's out, and when I've come to do this, I did ask Bryn and a couple of other people, and at first when I looked at it I thought, oh no, I've got to take that big bolt out. But Darren turned around and said, oh, have you tried hitting it with a hammer? And yeah, it is actually a separate piece, so it does actually come over the top of it, which is great news for me. There is a mark in there on the top. There is one there, so that's moved, as you can see, because it's not in the center anymore, but I have marked it, so that's good news. So carry on trying to get this off, and that is pulley off. Whew. Tell you what, it's actually handy having friends who actually know what they're talking about, because I obviously don't have a clue. But just need to get these 10 mils off to get that cover off, and then we can get the cam belt out. Right, so time to get those 9 mils off. 1, 2, 3 bad boys. Yeah, it's bad, that, isn't it? Very worst wear, but it has been sat in there for like 10 years doing nothing, so can't really blame it, can you really, for looking like that? But, you know, still grease on it. That's good news. Anyway, so we'll get those undone. And there it is. One, I mean, it looks shocking, but what do I know? Yeah, so we'll get the new one and get it filled. And that is one new slave cylinder in. Clean the bolts up a little bit as well. So in here I'm going to have to get some brake cleaner, I think people suggested, because it's just, yeah. It's not going to actually do anything, but for the sake of good housekeeping, I might as well get that cleaned up. But that bit's on, so that's good. So that's it. It's all the new water pump tensioners lined up. So yeah, let's just get the belt on now. So I managed to get the cam belt on, and it turns out put this on last, because that's fine, but this, you just can't get the belt on. So I had to undo that, take it off, and then yeah, belt went on okay, and I just slotted in. But anyway, so my marker at the top here, because I've been stressing about it overnight, so that's lined up. That's lined up there. Up at the top there, there's a marker I did yesterday. So I've turned the engine round twice. There isn't any sort of clunks or bangs or whatever it may be, so I'm not really going to know until I actually try and start it. So now it's just a case of putting things back together. So I started putting the brackets on there, get this case on now, and then get the drive belt put on. And that is one new drive belt and tensioner installed, so I'll get the engine mount on now. So here is my downpipe, eBay special, and my fitting kit. So get this put on, base of the turbo. There we go. Jolly good. Yeah, so that's the gasket on. Now I'll get this fitted. So got the exhaust on. So I'm gonna wedge up the gearbox at an angle, and I'm gonna see if I can tilt the engine to try and line it up. Hopefully it works, but we'll get it on the hoist and then we'll see what's what. But I think I'm best, you know what it is now, putting this at an angle on the front. So I'll make the front one maybe a couple of links shorter, so then it puts the engine like that when it's lifted. Yeah, I think that engine needs to go up a little bit. So that is a sign of progress. It just squirted at me. So you can see the brake clutch fluid dribbling down, and it popped the thing off. So as much as I don't like getting covered in oil, on this occasion that's a great sign, because on Bryn's video he said that it will squirt when the slave cylinder meets up with the clutch. So that means that's all lined up nice. I've got that one bolt in there, so now it's just get some of the other ones in, put the starter on. So now it's time to put the starting motor on. So just get this off, and yeah, get that. So gearbox is on. I've lost a bolt. I need to find it. Out of all the bolts I've got, it's not one of these. Starter's on, box is on. I've got one bolt to do, which is this one, which is that one. And for the life of me, I can't remember which one it is. But yeah, I've tried all the ones that I've got. Unless I put it in somewhere else. But anyway, so drive belt's on, tension's on, that's done. The turbo covers are on. I need to remember where that goes. That's the intercooler pipe, so that's on there as well. I need to get this snap bolt out. I've got another one, buffer it, and then get that buttoned up. And then that's pretty much it. Put the downpipe back on, of course. And then yeah, that's going to be pretty much ready to go in. So I've lost daylight. I'm going to get all this stuff put away now. But yeah, it's literally just a couple of bolts. I might just order another one of them bolts because I can't find it. And again, it's like a 10mm socket or a 13mm socket. You can't find it, you buy one, and then all of a sudden you found 6 of them. But we are. But massive progress, really pleased with it. So now, yeah, it's just a case of double check everything, get that one bolt put in, and then, yeah, get it put in the car. So next video, engine should be in the car, and then it'll just be a case then of putting some petrol in, let it turn over a few times. So I'll leave the coil packs and spark plugs disconnected, because I just want the fluids to run around the engine a little bit, because I didn't syringe the oil for the turbo, and I've been a bit lazy because I buttoned everything up. I was like, oh no, need to do that. So I'm going to rely on the engine rotating the oil around a few times before I go for an actual start. But I might do that live, but we'll see. But otherwise, hope you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye for now.